What is good, you guys? Good afternoon. I am back. You know who I am already. I'm Emmanuel Wells, the Dream Station Nation, leader and founder of Dream Publications. And I welcome you to another episode of What About. And today we're going to be talking about something, it's kind of a tweener, it's in between. We can go a lot of different ways with this topic, but in life, as we know, we like to talk about dreams, goals, aspirations, success, and the journey that it takes to get there. So, a word that came to my mind when I was thinking about this subject is commitment. What about commitment? And when I say this, I'm asking the question, how committed are you to what you say you want to do? To what you say you want to value, what you say you want to put in the forefront of your life? How committed are you to that grind? How committed are you to that process? How committed are you to that mode of thinking? Or shift. That's the word I was looking for. That shift. How committed are you to shifting, to changing, to growing, to developing, to becoming who you need to be in order to reach that dream, that goal, that aspiration, or even that lifestyle that you want to have? So what about commitment? And today I'm gonna take it two different ways. And it can tie into both of these, what I'm about to say. So I did do a little bit of looking into the Bible about this, because I like to be in my Bible, and it's gonna be a thing. I'm gonna be in my Bible a lot during these videos. I'm just gonna be talking about verses, stories, thoughts, ideas that I have based off these things and what I see in my circle and around me in this world, just in general. So get used to that. Don't be surprised when I whip out a Bible verse or two in these videos. And so today, with commitment, I thought about slothfulness. And slothfulness is basically laziness. And I was taken to Proverbs 26, verse 14 through 16. And it says, "As the door turneth upon his hinges, so doth the slothful man upon his bed. The slothful hideth his hand in his bosom. It grieveth him to bring it again to his mouth. The sluggard is wise in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason." And basically what that's saying is, just like a door opens and closes, a lazy person will open and close their body on their bed. They'll remain asleep, no matter what. They would rather sleep than work. They would rather sit in solitude, not even solitude, stagnation, than work, than move, and provide for themselves. Which is what the next verse is talking about. He hideth his hand in his bosom because he's not working. He's not putting his gifts and talents to usury, therefore he cannot provide meat for him to eat, so he starves. He has nothing to bring to his mouth, that's why it grieveth him to bring his hand to his mouth. Because he has nothing to provide, nothing of substance to bring in, because he's not working, he's not moving, he's not being active, he's not being intentional, he's not being purposeful about what it is that he wants. And the funny thing is, lazy people that like to make excuses, people that like to hide, people that like to say, "Oh, well, it's because of this and that I can't do this," or "It's because of this and that I won't do this," or "It's because I'm afraid," or "It's because I just don't want to try." Well, they believe that so heavily and readily to the point where that people that see that and will point it out can't say nothing to them. Nobody can say a single thing to these people because they are sold on the idea that they can't. Therefore, they won't. And this ties into your dreams. And I always ask the question, what do you want? When it comes to spirituality, when it comes to being a Christian, when it comes to walking with God, it's about what do you really want? What are you looking for? A lot of people say I'm trying to escape hell, but eventually that won't be strong enough to keep you in the standing in the ranks. Because eventually you'll lose that fear of hell when you see everybody else living around you not worried about a single thing. And that's one of the things that kind of turned my mind, is that when I changed my life, when I changed my view as to why I wanted to get saved, it was no longer to avoid hell, but it was to get to know the one that created me, to get to know God, to get to know him on an intimate, personal level, because that's what I saw, that's what I felt I needed. I didn't need to flee from hell. I needed to flee to God. I needed to chase after Him, you know? I needed to find a way to Him. I'm not trying to escape something. I'm trying to embrace something much bigger than a consequence for sin. Redemption, freedom, peace, love, joy. All the things that are good come from God. And that's why you have to be intentional and committed, because over time you will face challenges, you will face hills and valleys, you will go up and down, you will feel as if God is distant, you will feel as if your dream is distant, you will feel as if nobody sees you, you will feel as if God doesn't see you, you will feel like you have no reason to keep going, you will feel like there's no reason, there's no benefit to it, because it's not easy right away. Chasing a dream is not easy right away. Chasing God is not easy right away. Living for God is not easy right away. Pushing towards a dream that's bigger than you especially is not easy, because it feels like nobody's seeing you when you're working for them, which is kind of interesting, but it's painful. Because change is painful, and a sluggard does not wish to change. Therefore, they are wise in their own conceit. That's what the Bible says. They are wiser in their own conceit than 7 men that can render reason, because they have already committed themselves to laziness, to slothfulness, to fear, to discontent. And it's funny, but it's not, because it's sad, because so many people are banking on the easy way out. And then when that fails, they have no idea how to get back up, how to get to where they're going, how to get to where they want to be, because they got so used to not trying and getting what they wanted. They got so used to not trying and being okay with that, to relying on other people to provide for them and give them things, that when those things are gone, they have to realize and figure out for themselves, I have to do something. And if they don't, they'll remain hungry. And it's their fault. It's nobody else's fault why they're hungry. Spiritually hungry. Yes, you can be spiritually hungry, because you can, starve your spirit. And I've met and I've actually encountered a few people who have received the gift of the Holy Ghost who don't do anything with it, who don't take the time to get to know God through it, who don't take the time to pray to God through it, who neglect almost who God is and what He's done for them in their life, because they think, because I'm saved, I'm automatically going into heaven, when the Bible talks about a lukewarm person gets spit out and cast away. It's not a half-baked effort. It's a constant process, it's constant building, it's a constant grind, it's a constant change that has to take root within every last one of us. If you're chasing a dream, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's not gonna be easy. And the funny thing is, I've talked to my dad in the car once. He said, the things that challenge you are challenging because they have more meaning and are purposeful. They're more valuable because they're challenging. If you can't accept the challenge, if you can't face the challenge, where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do? You can settle, but how happy would you be? How free would you be? How fulfilled would you be? Because at the end of the day, what is it that you're looking for? What do you want? What are you trying to achieve? This is why we have to commit. And I hate when people say, this is my biggest pet peeve, if you didn't know, my biggest pet peeve is when people say they want to do something and they don't do anything towards that end. They don't pursue it. They don't take the steps necessary to do it. And I hate especially when you offer a hand and they kind of deny it, reject it, and then continue on the same way they were before they even started. You offered your time, you offered your energy, you offered your effort just for them to turn it aside and still remain where they are. Now, I will understand if you had a plan, if you had a way, if you had it all figured out where you're going to go, how you're going to do it, and when you're going to do it. But if you have no idea and somebody who is doing exactly what you want to do is trying to help you, that kind of gets on my nerves, because it's like you're wasting a resource. And eventually you'll lose that resource. It's just like with God. If we only rely on Him when we think we need Him, eventually we'll realize that that momentary faith won't be enough. You have to be continually building in faith. You have to continually try to seek him. Continually. It's a battle. It's a fight. Because you will be fighting against yourself and the devil. Because you have your doubts, you have your fears, you have your worries, you have your anxiety, you have your misconceptions of some things that need to be fixed. And I do too. And this is the thing. This is an issue. It's not really an issue. This is a common contingency that we overlook, is that we have to keep on keeping on. It's a journey, but it's also a process. It's a process, but it's also a battle until we get to that end, that desire, that goal. My goal is to reach heaven. My goal is to fulfill my purpose and live the most Christian, not really Christian, I think Christ-like life possible. One that's pleasing to him, so that when he comes back, he can say, well done, my good and faithful servant, instead of well done, my half-baked servant. I'll see you later. I'm not trying to half-step anything. I'm not trying to hide anymore. Hiding doesn't help anybody. And when you aren't committed to what you say you are committed to, think about the people who are relying on you to commit, who would be relying on you to commit. And if you never took that chance, you would never know. And then imagine at the end of all time, they come up to you and say, I was waiting on you. What happened? Where'd you go? What'd you do? I needed your help, but you never offered me the opportunity to ask. You never offered me the opportunity to get to know you. You never offered me the opportunity to embrace what you had within you. Because we're not on this earth for ourselves, which is even more important, is that we're not here for ourselves. We're here to help each other reach a bigger goal, a bigger end, which is edifying each other, loving each other. Those aren't things that are just meant to be. They're meant to grow and cultivate. Because unity is power. Love is power. And guess what love is? Love is God. God is love. The Bible talks about it. But if we can't commit to that love, how can we truly embrace it? If we don't commit to our dream, how can we truly embrace it? If we don't commit to our goals, how can we truly embrace them? How can we embrace the fruit of our labor if we are not laboring? So what about commitment? What makes it so important? I'm gonna keep it short. Commitment is the consistency, the consistent drive. It's not motivation, it's the consistent drive that keeps us moving forward no matter what. Commitment is a promise to yourself to keep going. Commitment is the innate desire to accomplish something no matter how I feel or what's going against me, because I see the end, because I understand the end goal, because even though it doesn't make sense all the time, it makes sense. Even though challenges come sometimes, I can get through it because I have help. I believe anybody can chase their dream and achieve it. I believe it's possible, even more now than it was in the past. I believe it's possible that each and every last one of us can achieve a goal. Each and every last one of us can reach what we want to reach. But we have to commit. And for those of us who are in the God sphere, yeah, I like that word, people who believe in God, who want to seek God, who want to be saved, who want to be free, commit to learning, commit to growing, commit to committing to putting in the work to get to know God, and then take the steps necessary to receive what he has set aside for you. And you can find that in my last video, What About Acts 2:38. Commit to changing, commit to becoming the best version of you possible. Because there's greatness within every last one of us. But we have to be the ones to take the steps to get there. We have to be the ones to believe, to have the faith, to have the desire, the purpose, and the intentionality to get there. You can't give up because you're only halfway. You just started. So, today's episode, what if ends with this. Commit. Don't give up. Just keep going. Don't settle for just enough when you have so much more in store for you. When you have so much more buried within you. And don't settle for the pure view of things. What do you want? What's the deeper desire that you need? What do you need? Why do you need it? Where are you going? Why are you going? At the end of the day, will you be satisfied with what you've done and who you are? With your process, with your growth, with your purpose. Are you moving towards it? Are you growing towards it? Are you making an impact? Commit.